Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's good. Hi guys, and welcome back to Pebbly Beach. Now today we're going to focus on something a little bit smaller. I feel like we've focused a lot on the bigger stuff, the SUVs that we make, but today we're going to talk about the Suzuki. Now, when you say Suzuki, most of the time it's one of two things: it's motorbikes or it's a Suzuki Swift. Now behind me, I've got the current generation Suzuki Swift. This particular one's a burning red S&L. Now we'll get into the spec in just a moment. Now, one really important aspect of the Suzuki brand is that the whole range is now hybridized. The Swift uses a 12-volt hybrid system. Now, that's a battery that starts the engine. When you're idling at traffic lights and bits and pieces, the stop-start system relies on a battery to power all the electronics and bits and pieces. It's very, very small places that you can gain a little bit more fuel economy. They say anywhere between 5 and 10%, lower emissions and better fuel economy as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump inside and do a walk around. Harry's going to pick up the tripod and follow me, and we're just going to show you some of the bits and pieces. Now, this car over the previous generation Swift, and when I say previous generation, I mean 2017 and back, it's bigger. There's no doubt about it. They packaged it a bit more, packaged it in a better way. You've got a bit more space essentially. So this is an entry level spec, the S&L. Now that still includes things like a reverse camera. Now that spec might be a little bit different on current stuff, but reverse camera, automatic LED lights, we've got adaptive cruise control, air conditioning, central locking, power windows, all those bits and pieces. Now, from a safety point of view, we've got collision warning or forward collision warning, really, really important. Now, what that does is, if the car thinks you're going to be in an accident, it can reduce the impact of that collision. So really, really clever stuff. They're all 5-door now, but Suzuki have done a really, really good design cue just here. I'm going to find what that's called and throw it up on the screen. I'm sure there's a nice technical term for it. Gives it a nice flush look. And actually in the rear, we'll do the obligatory rear seat test. Obviously I'm really, really tall at 5'8", but the seat's set for me and I've got plenty of room. So even if somebody was a little bit taller, loads of room. Now, one thing the Japanese have done incredibly well is fairly narrow cars, but taller. We've seen it with the Celerio, with the Alto, with the Ignis. They've done it with the Swift as well. The idea is we'll make it slightly narrower, so it's easier to drive, park and bits and pieces like that. We'll make it slightly taller as well, so the size you lose in width, you've gained in height. Now, in the boot, they haven't compromised on that. Really, really impressive. Again, I'm going to throw out the leaderage because I know you like the leaderage and bits and pieces. So, as you can see, just in there, plenty of room for your bits and pieces. You've got some underfloor storage as well. So if you need to hide anything, you've got the option to do that too. How do you know if it's a hybrid? So, Suzuki make it really, really easy. Little silver badge on the back, it says hybrid in blue. Slightly different for the full hybrid bits and pieces like the Vitara, which comes as black. Interesting stuff. Keep following me. The rear lights, they are combination LED lights, so they're super bright, so people can see you at night time and bits and pieces like that. Again, because they're automatic, they'll come on automatically for you. Keep moving around. We've got nice two-tone diamond cut alloy wheels. Really, really attractive. And if you ask me, and this is just my opinion, I think they're better looking than the ST ones, but hey, who am I to say? Keep walking around. I'm just going to show you a couple of other bits and pieces in terms of Swift. So this one just here, that is an ST pre-facelift. So we haven't got LED lights, but we've still got the K12D, which is the hybrid version of the engine. I won't go into too much boring detail about that. And just next to here, I've got the SZ5. The SZ5 adds things like climate control, built-in sat-nav, keyless entry and bits and pieces. Hopefully that wasn't too long or boring for you. We just wanted to give you an idea on the Swift. We might do a separate video on the Swift Sport. I'm going to show you some clips of the Swift Sport anyway. That's a whole new model in its own right. That's got the 1.4 turbo out of the Vitara and the S-Cross. But pebbly.co.uk, click on new cars, show you all of our new cars and bits and pieces. Great offers on the Swift all the time. They're compact, fun to drive, agile, good on fuel, great value for money. What more could you ask? 01793 816 800, pebbly.co.uk, and breathe. We'll see you in the next video.